I hear you.
Hey,
Uh,
how's it going?
I'm well. How are you, sister? You doing all right?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I
I'm still
haven't done
working,
anything.
girl. I'm still, playing catch up. All the stuff you've been able to accomplish. So I'm so proud of you. Look forward to what's
No,
next. I know this is
that's
a
you.
starting point. I know it's just a starting point for you. But
I
congratulations.
appreciate it.
Your book is
Thank you.
awesome, actually. Your book is.
Thank you.
I mean, like you could tell that there's some wisdom that's coming out of this brain.
Look, it took a minute. You know me from way back. You know me from way back. So, it took me a minute to get here. And I'm still, I'm still growing. Life is about growth. So
This is true.
still growing.
This is so true, man. But I'm telling you, man, I was like, as I was reading and I was taking notes, and I was just like, God darn, girl. I've said a lot of these things to myself and to my kids, but to hear it and to see it, and I didn't even know the story about Sajo, man, and like so much. I was like, wow, wow, and how she prayed for Colin, and I was like, OMG, So it was just amazing reading the book. I was just like, wow,
I,
can't wait to share. Can't wait. And I haven't started recording yet, so we're gonna
I
do
got
the
you.
intro first. So I wanted to do a testing of the mics, make sure you can hear me,
Okay.
hear me well, and that's cool, cool. So you can hear me.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
And I can hear you well too.
Okay, awesome. All right,
Yeah. How's Sarah and Mario?
man. They are doing well for their age. They're 77 and 76 at this time, and they still get around. They still crazy. My dad just got on Facebook about a month and a half ago, and he's texting people just out of the blue, messaging them, man. Hey, how you doing? Just random people. He just he's a mess. He's a mess. Last month we were down there, and he said, "Hey, Mitras, these girls just keep popping up on Facebook. I don't, and they pretty girls too. I don't know." My mama said, "Don't even worry about that. You can't handle the one you got, so ain't worry." So they
Oh man,
still crazy. You just
that
see
is funny.
they still crazy, man. So he had me dying laughing. There, I said, "Man, you can't handle the one you got. Don't even worry about it."
Ooh, yeah, leave that alone. That is funny. It's funny you say that. My dad, my niece made a Facebook page for my dad, and the other day, a couple weeks he was up, and he's like, "Hey, Mika, I need to know how to get off this thing. I can't. It's just too much. There's too much going on. I don't even want it anymore. How do I delete my account?"
Yeah, man. These good looking girls too. Me, good looking girls.
Oh man, that is so funny.
That's him though.
That is so funny.
I'm here with with Alvin Nichols. I'm in Atlanta now, and that boy,
Uh,
that boy is a hot mess.
we need to have a discussion.
He need an intervention.
Intervention. He needs an
He
intervention.
need an intervention, literally. Like literally. So yeah, he's a hot mess. So that's a whole nother story that we ain't even got time for. That's gonna take some mimosas and some.
Yeah, Kathy. Every now and then, Kathy will send me a message and be like, "Did you see Alvin on Facebook? Or did you see what Alvin said on Facebook?" And then she'll be like, Alvin looks so bad."
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know. Even my sister, everybody's like, "What the hell happened to Alvin?"
I try to tell people all the time. I say this is not the cousin that I know. I keep showing them the picture that's in my parents' house. I was like, this is the one that I know.
Yes.
Pretty boy here, not this. I don't know this fresh out of the jungle looking guy
Yeah,
here.
I'm so shocked. Like I don't know how he got there.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
I still don't know. I'm here. I told my kid only deal with them in doses. Him and my brother, I can't. All doses. I go with them once every 2 or 3 months, and we'll go out and we'll have a little night. But I can't. I can't be around too much. It's just
On
too.
a regular basis.
I can't. Like
Yeah, yeah.
we're just not on the same spots. Mentally, we're not on the same level. Like
Yes,
I promise they
yes.
still living in the '90s. I promise you, mentally. And
I
just like your book said, if you're still doing stuff at 25, you're doing,
Jesus Christ,
you
something is wrong.
need some reevaluation now. When you add 20 more years to that, you still
Yes.
you need intervention. I'm trying to tell you, So.
Look, a couple years ago, he contacted me, right? He was like, Mika, I got this verse I want you to be on. I said, Alvin Nichols, I do not rap anymore. Like that is not even
Right.
on my mind anymore. I have not done any of that uh in years. Why are you still
Mm-hmm. I had the same. Well, I had a conversation with him literally probably about 6 months ago.
Mhm.
He's working on his new project and he's spending all this money getting demos and all that. And I was just like, bro, you know what? No disrespect. You are very talented. You have some lyrics for yourself. I said, but I want you to name a 50-year-old rap artist that's hot, that's just coming out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I just, just name one. And he couldn't name one. I said, you may need to do some ghostwriting for a young cat. I said, bring a young kid up and, ghostwrite for him, train him, show him what you need, pour that knowledge in him and you write for him. You can get your credit and your fame from that. And then once you build that, if you want to come up with your solo project, you do that. But, just look at it differently. Nobody want to see your old gray ass. I don't know what's going on with your dental benefits. I don't know what's happening with you. You need to get your shit together. He's like, man, you hating. I'm like, no, I'm just being real.
No, he needs more people in his circle to have those type of conversations with him and not like
keep boosting
be
that.
a yes man or whatever they're doing. I don't know, but he needs
to stop.
he needs to stop it.
I'm like, you I don't understand. You going to a strip club spending thousands of dollars in a strip club for what? These women don't care about you and they ain't gonna remember you when you leave the door. Like,
No,
why?
it's a hustle.
I don't understand. I just don't understand it. I don't know. It ain't for me to understand. I'm okay with being the black sheep of the family. I'm all right with that. I'm okay.
Hey, I am too. And you know what? Sometimes I think evolution kind of causes you to be the black sheep sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I swear it does.
We talk about 2 hours before we even record anything. So we're gonna focus on you. All right. So I created this podcast under the one major reason. That's just believe that if we share our stories, we may save a life. And I truly believe that there are a few defining moments of our life that help to put us on a particular path and who we become. And if we share that with somebody, it may help somebody that's going through it, somebody they know they may go through it, but because we're all universally connected and we all have similar experiences, and just how you dealt with yours or what you learned from it may be beneficial. So literally, I'm going to play the credit, the opening credits, and then I'm going to introduce you. And then I'm just going to ask you, what's 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 defining moments of your life, whatever you want to share, but share your experiences. And you can really talk to the audience about you, about what you went through, who you are then, who you are now. And I'm going to make sure when we get to the end, like literally after 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I'm going to ask you, is there any final words you want to leave with the audience? I want you to say whatever you have to say. And then I want to say, here's a way that you can contact me, get in contact, buy my book. It's on X, Y, and Z, anything that you want to share with the audience, because this is literally broadcasted on iHeartRadio. It's going to be on Amazon, Google. It's on all the affiliates. So
tell me all that. Okay. Look, first, can you see my screen? Like, can you see me?
No, I can't see you. You're completely dark.
Okay, because I'm trying to fix that. I just realized that you can't see.
They want to be on the outside.
No, I half comb my hair for this. I don't even comb my hair. Let me try to see what's going on here. Wow, what is going on?
I was like, I ain't gonna try to make up these things.
No. What about now?
Not yet. Let me see if there's anything.
Because I can't see myself. I don't know why. Okay, if you give me a second. Wait, hold on. Let me try this.
Take it down.
Share screen.
That's what this time is all about.
I apologize. I just realized.
I should have said something when I first came in, when you first came on.
It's okay.
I normally say I can't see you, but I can hear you.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna join with my phone.
Okay.
Cause that might cause I know I tested it on my phone. Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna do my phone, join with my phone because I don't want to hold you up. So give me 1 second. I just had it up. I got my glasses on. You know, you get old.
Yeah, I don't even have my glasses on, but
Okay. I don't feel bad there. Okay, hold on. Jeez, I just had it up. Wait a minute. All right, here it is. Bam. And I'm gonna take this stupid picture off of here. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna have to mute that. Unmute your phone.
Okay, is that better?
There we go. There we go.
All right. Okay.
All right, we in business.
All right. Sorry about that.
Your last name, Jameson? Jameson?
Jamerson.
It is Jamerson. Okay.
Jameson.
Jameson.
Yeah.
Jameson.
Like the whiskey.
Oh, Jameson. Okay.
Jameson.
That's all you had to say. You see what you did? You went to the house to get it. Jameson. Got it now. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be that. Then we go at the end. I'll give you ways to talk about this lovely project that you have. This lovely project, this words of wisdom that you have here. It's awesome though. This is some really good stuff.
I appreciate it.
It's really good stuff. Actually, I need to send some to my daughters. Actually, they need to have this in their life.
I'll send them a autograph copy, and I'll send it to your address, and I'll put a little gift in there for them.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, you ready, girl?
Yes.
Are you ready, doctor?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, doctor?
He's so fun. Look, sometimes I forget I got my damn doctorate, but it's all good.
All right, let's get started. We're recording now. Life Journey Podcast is sponsored by Akili Flow. Akili Flow is a culturally centered coaching organization that uses meditation and comedic yoga to help you balance your work and your life. Set up an appointment with them today. Visit www.akiliflow.com. That's AKILIFLOW.com and book your free session. Welcome to Life Journey Podcast. I'm your host, Demetrius Ari, one of the few shows that's focused and designed on sharing the experience of its guests to help you be better versions of yourself. I'm here today with Dr. Tammy Jamerson, a best-selling author of Do As I Say and Not As I Do, a wife, mother, writer, and many, many other things. She's here to share with you some of her defining moments, some of the things that have shaped, molded her to be the woman that you see today. Miss Tammy.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I'm honored. I
Uh,
appreciate it.
the honor is totally ours. And so this podcast was truly created under the pretense that every single human being has a few moments, a few issues, a few defining moments that truly shape them to be the individuals that they are. It's usually something that we go through that puts us on a particular path. And I truly believe that if you share that story, it may help somebody. And so, I know you have a tremendous story. I know that your story can save some lives. And I just wanted you to share with our audience. Tell them a little bit about yourself and tell us how you get to be who you are today.
Well, like many others, I'm sure my have a long story, but I'll keep it short. I'm like you said, I'm a wife, mother, author, a business owner. Have two children. I have been married before. This is my second marriage, and I think a lot of everything I've gone through growing up from a child, high school, college, all of those things, I think pretty much shaped who I am. But I think one of the most defining moments of my life was when my daughter who's 24 now, she was around maybe 6 or 7 years old. And I was married to her father and my son's father. And it wasn't the healthiest marriage, wasn't healthy, the healthiest relationship. And we probably should have never got married. But, at the time, I guess we both felt like it was the right thing to do. But it was a toxic relationship. And when you have kids, you don't realize what kids pay attention to, what they see, um, and what you're teaching them directly and indirectly. And so it was through one of those conversations with my daughter, where out of the blue, she just told me that, mommy, I'm not going to be like you when I grow up. I don't want to be like you. I'm not going to let anybody talk to me any kind of way. I'm not going to let a man put their hands on me. Um, I don't want to be who you are. And as a mother and as a just a person in general, that kind of cut deep. Kids are brutally honest. They're just gonna they're not gonna sugarcoat anything. They're gonna tell you what they think. And that coming from my daughter, because as a mother, um, you always want to present yourself in the best light. You always want to be the best person you can be, and a great example for your children. And have my child come to me and tell me that, hey, you're not doing a great job. I mean, you may be a great mother, but showing me who I should be as a woman when I grow up. You're not doing such a great job at that. And that really cut deep, but it cut deep, but at the same time, I listened to her. And I stayed married maybe for another year after that. But I took that year, the time it took me to left, I was preparing to leave, because I had two kids. I just didn't want to get up and grab my kids and just, be from pillar to post with children. I had to plan and make sure that we were going to be okay. But I do think that that was one of the most defining moments of my life. And that moment and the day I left really set things in motion for how my life would be, how my life is now, basically. Because I don't know where I would be or what I would be doing. I don't even know if I would be alive if I would have stayed.
Absolutely, absolutely. A couple things, first and foremost, it's it's so important that we share these stories. Um, you know, Domestic violence is a huge, huge epidemic in the world and especially in the United States. And abuse comes in many different forms. It's not always physical. It's emotional, it's mental, it's verbal, and sometimes those words cut deeper than if you were physically assaulted.
Yeah.
And but to hear the wisdom of a 6 year old to be able to analyze a situation, process it, and regurgitate it in a way that it could hit the soul of a grown adult speaks volumes to our children and the environments we put them in. And sometimes we minimize their wisdom. But kids are very astute to their environment. They pay close attention. They are always watching everything that we do. And it's imperative that we, create an environment that's healthy for them because we are the first example of what a relationship should be. And she showed you, mommy, this is what I'm seeing and I'm not liking it.
Right.
I want nothing to do with that, mommy.
Yeah,
Nothing.
right. Absolutely.
Wow.
Exactly. Exactly. It,
So
it
your stomach was in knots, I'm sure, when she told you.
Oh, I couldn't sleep. I didn't, I don't even think I slept that night because I'm, I'm thinking, what am I doing? It's not about me. It's not about him. End of the day, it's about these kids. And, like I said, I have a daughter and a son. And my son's very, I don't even think he might have just turned one or at the time, or maybe, I know he was younger than 2 when I left. And I didn't want my son to emulate that type of behavior either, or treat women a certain type of way because of what he would have seen either.
Right.
So I had to think about them. I had to put myself on the back burner and think about my children.
Now, from that particular moment, the wheels started turning inside, and mentally you started to get in alignment and starting to plan my exit strategy for my family. What was that year like from the time that you made that decision to the time you made the decision to actually exit? That was a rough year. I can only imagine. I can only imagine what that year was like. What was that about?
Jesus Christ, it was hell because I'm keeping what my child said to me in the back of my head. So I'm trying to uh, not set anybody off to drama. At the same time, I'm working full time. I was working full time. Go to my first job, get off, come home, dinner, stuff, order with the homework. It's
You
from
breaking up on me.
like 5 in the morning at the time. Oh, can you hear me?
You broke up on me. The last thing I heard
Can
you
you hear?
say, you was talking about that 1 year period.
Okay. Yeah. So I said it was hell, um, because I'm trying not to cause any situations that will cause any more altercations or drama or anything like that, because everything my daughter said was still in the back of my mind. So in my mind, if she's bringing this to my attention, it's like if somebody is doing something you don't like. If you're doing something that someone doesn't like, you're cognizant of it. If you care, you're cognizant of it, and you don't want to keep um, um, having that pattern of that same behavior. You don't want to keep going down that same path. So you want to create different trends. And so that's what I was trying to do. But at the same time, I had 2 full-time jobs and was working on my master's degree. So I would go to my first job, come home, have to help my daughter with her homework, breastfeed, because I was still breastfeeding my son, cook, and then go back. I think I would go to work from like 6 to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning at American Airlines, and I was working on my master's degree at the time. So what I would do was, the purpose of the second job was to stack my money, because I was in a relationship, and again, it's not always physical, it's emotional, it's verbal. And so, you play these mind games. I ain't got no money to pay the bills or whatever, and so everything would fall on me. So what I would do is take my second check, bank that, go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx, somewhere on weekends or when I had the day off, go buy pots, anything me and my children would need when I would move out and move into our own place. I would buy those things and I would stash them at my brother's house in his storage room. I mean, I had sheets, towels, everything in there, everything except, and so that's what that year was like. And then I'm the type of person, I would tell them, listen, I'm gonna leave, because I mean they're his kids too. And I never want to keep, although I didn't want us all to be living in the same household, I always wanted them to have some type of relationship. Everybody needs a relationship with their parents. So I was never that type of person to keep kids away or anything like that. So I was open. This isn't working. I can't do it anymore. And it was a rough year trying to do, manage the house and the kids and keep my emotions in check and try to be strategic about my plans. It was really difficult.
Now, historically, abusers, when they find out that their victim is trying to exit, there usually is more aggression. Um,
Mm.
it picks up, And were you experiencing any of that after you let them know, hey, this is not working. I know you don't have a timeline that you might have shared with them, but an abuser can tell when their power is leaving them, and then they try to overcompensate by trying to be a lot more aggressive, or it's happening more often.
Right. Yeah. And it did. And so I would be accused of different things. I wasn't allowed to have a cell phone. So one of my coworkers, and we're friends to this day, I owe her so much. She put a phone on her account for me.
Wow.
I would leave it in the car or wherever, or hide it somewhere so he would know I had it. But I used to have to literally, if I'm in the kitchen cooking, I had my purse in the kitchen with me. And in my purse, I had my keys,
Wow.
cell phone that was hidden. I cut a hole in the purse and had the cell phone down in the bottom of the lining of the purse, because I never knew when I had to run. And one night in particular, I did. He wanted to have sex. I didn't. You just spit on me a couple of hours ago. Call me all types of names and
Right.
stuff. You think I'm about to give you something? You're crazy. So he took my head and and I was sleeping in my son's bedroom. Like, we had a futon in there, and his little crib was in there. So I would sleep in there and had my purse with me. He took my head and put it through the wall, pushed my head through the wall so hard where I literally could not see for about a minute. I thought I went blind. When I was able to open my eyes, I didn't have no shoes on. I barely had on, I had like pajamas on or whatever, but no shoes. So I had to make a decision. Do I leave my kids in this house and hurry up and get out of here, because he's gonna kill me tonight? Or do I try to grab them and take them with me? Because while all this is going on and I'm trying to sit up straight because I'm dizzy, I hear him pacing back and forth in the kitchen about how he's gonna kill me. So I while he was in the kitchen, as fast as I could in my condition, I grabbed my purse, got out to the car, got in the car, locked the doors. He's out there banging on the car, and I just drove off. Now I was driving to the hospital. From our house to the hospital was maybe 5 miles. It took me like an hour because I had to keep pulling over
Wow.
and stopping because
Dizzy.
I was so dizzy and I couldn't hardly drive.
Wow.
And then when I got there, um, they told me I had whiplash and a concussion. That's how hard he pushed my head through the wall. And so, although I didn't want them to call the police, it's protocol when you're in the hospital for something like that for them to call. And they called, and long story short, he ended up getting arrested. Um, when I was able to go back home, the cops came to take a statement. They didn't even go in the room to look at the hole in the wall or anything. And then eventually had to go to court, and the case got thrown out because the cops didn't do their due diligence and document the hole in the wall or any of that. So the case to this day, he doesn't have a record for that. And he was ordered not to come back to the house, but he bought that house before we got married, right before we got married. So even though my name was on the deed, and let me tell you something, having peace, having peace is so much better than anything material. I did not want that house. I didn't want anything in the house. I had my mother and my sister telling me, "You stupid." I would be trying to take the house and everything. All I wanted was peace. And so what I did, I was living in the state of North Carolina at the time. I went down to the courthouse. You could buy a divorce kit. They give you all the paperwork for you to type up yourself. Did my own divorce. I did lie and say we had been separated for a year because that was one of the requirements for getting a divorce. I didn't care. I just wanted out. I did a quick claim deed, taking my name off the deed. I didn't want the house. I just wanted peace. And the day my divorce was granted, and let me tell you something about God. When I say I have been blessed every day since I walked out that courtroom, I have been blessed. And I don't think it was so much of him blocking my blessings. It was me blocking my blessings because I was not focused on me. I wasn't focused on God. I was focused on trying to appease somebody who couldn't be appeased or didn't deserve it. And so once I shifted my focus and put God first and put my kids and myself, well, myself then my kids, because I have to be in a certain place to be able to take care of my kids, then everything just kind of started falling into place. It was like my vision was clearer. Um, and I can for once, see myself for who I am or who what God created me to be. And I'm still growing. Um, but I think I had to remove myself from that toxic situation, because when you're in situations like that, or it could be any other kind of situation where you're just in an unhealthy relationship, you can't even think straight. You can't even focus. It's like, and I don't know if you're like this, but I cannot function in a messy house. I can't function in a messy environment. If my desk is messy, my office is messy, I can't even focus on what I need to do because I'm thinking of what I should be doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of the same way when you're in a emotionally uh, 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 just a horrible relationship, emotionally, whether it's physical abuse or verbal or whatever, or just an unhealthy relationship or unhealthy environment. You can't focus on what you need to focus on.
Your conversation and your testimony has brought chills up my arm. So it speaks to the truth of the words that you're speaking. Um, so often we make excuses for the actions of the loved ones that we have or the relationship. We are afraid. We deny. We are embarrassed. We under the notion that This is my relation. This is my marriage. I can't leave it. I have to. I said, to death do us part, and I can't leave it for better or worse. You know, and all of these wording that you take these vows to, and I think that prior to even your daughter making that conversation to you, there was something in your inner being that you weren't being honest with, you know, and
Absolutely.
you were out of alignment with yourself. And so when you made the statement that, you had to learn to love yourself again, you had to get in alignment with yourself so that God could bless you. And the moment that you did that, the floodgates open. He's like, everything I have for you. What took you so long? Like,
Right, right,
what took you so long, man? But the
right.
moment you made that decision, it's like you started to see, you start to see that positivity come into your life. And it's like it's starting to just overflow from people that come into your life, circles that come in your life, opportunities that open. And it's like peace. It is like
Yes,
peace, and I definitely can attest to, that level of peace and in inner peace and joy, and being in relationships where you're abused. It's definitely, it's traumatic and it's trauma. And I tell people all the time, it's PTSD. I don't care how you look at it. It's
it
literally,
is.
you're depressed, and you're devalued, and you have these mood swings, and you get forgetful. You can't remember stuff, and it's a whole lot. Can't sleep,
Yes,
all those things. And so, getting in a place where you find peace is probably it's the best thing that you could have possibly done. And so I commend you for taking that step. I commend you for the discipline it took. I commend you for the sleepless nights, the sacrifice for your body, your mental, and all of the devotion and all of the requirements that's required to be a mother, breastfeeding, doing homework, cooking, working two jobs, and in school. Like, that is insane in itself. That's stressful enough. That's breakdown material right there. It's
I was on the verge, I promise you.
breakdown material right there alone. But to have a goal, and it speaks to your determination. It speaks to your discipline. It speaks to your goal setting, and holding yourself accountable for reaching that goal, because you knew you had little eyes, you had little souls that
Yes,
were watching you.
yes, yes. I appreciate that. And and if there's anyone out there that's going through something similar, it's okay. People are in our lives for seasons. And although that was one of the the worst times of our life, I thank God for it because it made me who I am today. I don't wish anything bad on him. I hope hope he's okay. I don't have any conversations with him, neither do the kids, but that's their choice. That was by their choice when they were old enough to make that choice. Um, that's the route they chose. But I just pray for him and his emotional stability. And if you're in a similar situation, it's okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay to sit there because although you're being abused, you're abusing yourself at the same time. Because, like Demetrius said, you're not being honest with yourself. You got to take a deep dive and peel back the onion and look at, and that's what I had to do. I had to look at, try to figure out why was I accepting this type of behavior from somebody else? What is wrong with me? And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with going to therapy. There's nothing wrong with praying about it. I've done both. I chose not to share a lot of this with my friends. A lot of people, my family didn't know I was going through all of this. I would walk out of that door with a smile on my face. It's embarrassing. You know what I mean? And I'm a private person and a prideful person, and I didn't want to be seen as a victim. But you got to be honest. At some point, you have to be honest with yourself, and you gotta love yourself, because if not, you're being abused twice.
Mm.
That's self-abuse, and you're being abused by someone else. So it's okay to walk away. It's and it's going to take time. I believe, what do they say? Habits are formed in what, 30 days? It takes 30 days to break or form a habit.
Mhm.
You'll be all right in
You can handle it.
about a month or two.
You can handle it. You can handle it.
You'll be okay. It's not going to kill you. If it doesn't kill you, it's going to make you stronger. It's so cliche, but I
So
swear it's the truth.
now, doctor, you were able to take this experience, get your master's, get your doctorate, raise healthy kids, you know, and now you're able to you're a published author. So tell us about how you get to what was the inspiration for writing the book?
So my daughter was the inspiration for writing the book. I wrote the book while I was writing my dissertation. Um, she was graduating from high school, and I just felt like I was running out of time. Like there were so many things that I felt like, although I felt like I taught her a lot, I felt like there were so many other conversations that we didn't get to have. And I kind of panicked. I was like, I gotta, share this with her. I had to share that with her. And then I started taking notes, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it in a book. Now there are maybe some embarrassing moments in the book for her. So I did talk to her about that first. And at first she was a little, you know, she didn't like it. I'm not gonna say she didn't like it. She was embarrassed. But then she was like, you know what? It is what it is. And guess what? I'm sure other mothers have musty daughters
Right,
too.
right,
I mean, there's something in the book that I think every mother could that would resonate with
right.
a lot of mothers. And so um that's what I did. I put it together. I had a great publishing company, Black owned, women owned publishing company. Um, Purposely Created Publishing published my book. They only published nonfiction um, books. The whole experience from beginning to end was seamless, and no stress, no drama. It was like it was meant to be. And so um, I just kind of jotted down some things. And that's why the book is titled Do As I Say, Not As I Do, right? Because I'm so far from perfect. And you know me, you've known me for years. I have made plenty of mistakes. And as parents, we seem to forget that we seem to create this subhuman character as parents, that we're flawless and we're always right when we're not. I have my kids tell me all the time, and we have discussions. We have family meetings, we have discussions, and I'm like, listen, we can have discussions. You could tell me what you need to tell me, but I need you to present it in a respectful way. You know what I'm saying? Because they're human, they have feelings and they have opinions, and we're not always right. And so that's why, and I haven't always set the best example for my kids. I've tried, but I'm sure I've fallen short at times. And so that's why I titled the book Do As I Say, Not As I Do. Um, Reflections, Life Lessons, and Advice for Daughters. And there's some funny stories in there. There's some sad stories, but hopefully there's something in the book that everybody can relate to.
This is the book. This is the book she's talking about, guys. Make sure you see it, order it. It is definitely packed with a lot of information. It's too much to to highlight. But I remember I remember reading one of the things that says something along, and I'm paraphrasing something. Don't let anger be a feeling that makes your mouth work faster than your thoughts. It's something along those lines, and it made
Yes.
me think about when in heated moments you say things and you don't even think, you know, you say things
Yeah.
and it don't always come out right. And I was like, that's word of wisdom there. That's some good stuff. Slow it down some. And one other thing I remember reading, it was like, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it's at the end of the day, it was like you're not going to move until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. you know. And once you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you move.
Yes.
So so definitely, it's definitely some key things in here, some life lessons. It's definitely a great book, and something that all mothers and daughters should definitely experience. And any woman, I'm sure there's a story here that you can relate to. So, Dr. Tammy, it's been amazing speaking with you these past 45 minutes. See how time flies?
It
I
flew
truly,
by.
I truly appreciate you sharing your story with our guests and our listeners. Is there one last word of wisdom that you would give mothers or parents, especially mothers and daughters, but anyone? But I think that your story has hit home on so many different levels, from the abuse state, also just the relationship between mothers and daughters. So, is there anything else you want to like to leave with our listeners?
Um, First of all, I want to say thank you again for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for all of the advice, words of encouragement, and just for your support. I appreciate it. If I had one last thing to share, I would definitely say to get out of your own way. We gotta learn to get out of our own way. No one can stop you from doing anything except you. And if you're blaming anyone else, then you're just placing the blame, because at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror, and you're the only one that can control and determine what you're going to do, and if you're successful or not. And with that, I say you could pray all day long, Lord, help me get a job, help me do this or whatever. But if you're not doing your part, then it's redundant. So, you know, you gotta and that goes for me too. We have got to learn to get out of our own way, and not let another human being have so much power over our lives that they determine whether we're going to have a good day or a bad day. You're the only person that should be able to determine what kind of day you're going to have, not another person walking this earth. So if I have to leave you with anything, that's what I would leave you with.
Now, if anybody's interested in buying your book, where can they find your book?
Oh, yes. So the book is on Amazon. It's in Barnes and Noble. And I believe on you can go on Walmart.com and purchase it as well.
Okay. Okay. And if there are listeners who like to get in touch with you for any reason, you said you're also a business owner.
Yes. So the name of my business is Capital Business Solutions LLC, and um, we're basically a business consulting firm that helps organizations with process improvement. I also help small disadvantaged businesses with business development. I can help you set up your nonprofit, your articles of incorporation, all that stuff from A to Z. Um, we're like a one-stop shop, and we can be reached. I'm kind of new to all this social media and everything. I have my son trying to create my Instagram and all that for my business, but um, Capital Business Solutions, and it's capital with an AL, and it's the website is capitalbusinesssolutionsllc.com. And my email is tjamerson, Jameson at capitalbusinesssolutionsllc.com.
You heard it. Get your advice. Get your nonprofit started. Get your business LLC and articles of incorporation. This is the lady for you. Get your wisdom. Get the book. Here it is again for. Please purchase it. It is definitely worth it. Do as I say and not as I do. Doctor, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your story. Um, I am so thankful to have been able to share space and time and energy with you today, and it is a blessing to see your growth and your development, and your evolution that you are. So awesome. So I love you. Keep doing what you're doing, and until the next time we speak.
Love you too. Thank you.
My sis. Life Journey podcast is sponsored by Akili Flow. Akili Flow is a culturally centered coaching